of 92.7, both numbers on top of the NA3HL. For the Sea Captains, on the blue line, it's Daryl Smith alongside Sean Loftus, Josh Manahan, Max Tapia, Jamison Bain centering that first line up front. Andrew Yoakum in goal for the Sea Captains. Yoakum comes into this game with a personal record of 0-5, a goals against average of 3.55, and a save percentage of 91.3. Norwich in their home white uniforms with the red and navy trim. They'll skate from right to left on your screens at home as they have the puck deep in the northeast offensive zone. Picked up by Nick Racker, and he'll clear on out. Now it's Crisp into the zone. Tries giving back along for Tyler Ram. Crisp in front. Yoakum makes the save, and 33 seconds into the first period, he'll hold on for a faceoff to his left. Northeast Generals have not lost a game this season. This is the third meeting between these two teams. The Sea Captains currently chasing the Danbury Hat-Tricks for the fourth and final playoff spot in the Eastern Division. They currently trail Danbury by 10 points. So 5 wins, it's a significant number, but not insurmountable at this point in the season. Sent on down into the General's end. Jack Kinahan, the first one there. Kinahan looked to get it behind the net for Holton. Knocked off of his stick by Mulligan. Mulligan then able to flip it out far side. Back to retrieve is Tim Hayden. And the Bethel, Connecticut native slides it along for Tony Moran. Moran cross ice, picks up Holton with lots of space. Holton overskated the puck. Has to go back, flips it on forward. And then dumping it down deep is Evan Tower. First time that we're seeing Evan Tower back for the Norwich Sea Captains. Sea Captains certainly appreciative of the reinforcements, as here's Drew Schemmel getting upended at center ice. Stayed on his skates. Daryl Smith plays this off the boards. Kicked on down by Cedric Savoy. Savoy has it knocked off his stick by Schemmel. Schemmel sends it on over in front of the General's bench. McCready for Northeast managed to work it up ahead. Now it's Cody Lambert in, but Yoakum comes out of his cage and breaks up the offensive opportunity. Byer, pass far side, just stays in the zone. Mulligan sends one on goal. Yoakum gets a glove on it. And the faceoff once again will be to his left. Well, 151 gone by in the first period. Northeast Generals already recording 3 shots on goal. Andrew Yoakum stopped them all. Sea Captains still looking for their first 200 feet down the ice. Stepping in for the draw is Jamison Bain. Bain managed to actually win it towards goal. Yoakum stuck it away. Behind the net, getting bumped was Tony Moran. Now Bain unable to get it on out, at least with possession. It strolls on down into the General's end. First one there is Mulligan. He goes behind the net for McCready. McCready runs into a pair of forecheckers, Aiden and Jamison Bain. Yes, it's spelled differently. Not sure how old, or rather how long we're going to keep rolling with that. Hasn't gotten old yet. Thrown out of the, or rather out of his zone by Mulligan. This goes off the side of the cage. Solid discipline shown by Andrew Yoakum, letting that simply go off of the net and get blown down on an icing. 17:33 to go in the first. Sea Captains with their first offensive zone faceoff. It'll be Drew Schemmel and Peyton Felix, last year teammates on this Generals team. Faceoff one into the corner, a bouncing puck. Schemmel takes the shot, that's blocked. Loftus, another former General, shot from the point. Joseph makes the save. Rebound popped around in front before McCready's able to pick it up for the Generals. Now Schemmel, a sharp angle attempt. Mason Joseph will corral the rebound, and the faceoff will remain in the Generals' end. Oh, nice offensive sequence for the Norwich Sea Captains, recording their first shots on goal. Off the draw, Tower wins it back. Here's Hayden with a shot, deflected on goal, save the rebound. Mason Joseph makes the save. Holy cow, Mason Joseph taking one off the goal line. A desperation save for Mason Joseph. Holy cow, what a save. Evan Tower on the draw. It's controlled by the Generals. Up ahead, pass goes too far for Frolik. Moran then gets hit hard into the boards. He's injured as he was hit from behind. Referee keeps his arm down, as Moran was hit in the numbers and then driven into the boards. And it was Peyton Felix, or check that. It was Aiden Frolik who threw the check, and the officials are going to confer about this, as the linesman does have the option to tell the referee that he saw a 5-minute major on that play. The official did not put his arm up in the air. And I do give credit to Aiden Frolik for staying in the area, as he realized that he had made a mistake. But now all thoughts with Tony Moran, as he's attended to by the Norwich Sea Captains training staff. Only 3:02 gone by in the first. So we'll take a short timeout. You're watching the Norwich Sea Captains and the NA3HL on Hockey TV. Welcome back to the Rose Garden Ice Arena. Tony Moran very slow up to his feet, and we remain at 5-on-5 on a play that I'm sure the league will take a look at. 3:02 to go in the first period. Moran heads straight to the locker room for the Sea Captains. He'll be Evan Tower on the draw against Captain Nick Racker. Racker wins this one towards goal. Yoakum gets a glove on it, and we'll do it all over again. And again, you take a look at that previous hit. Frolik puts his hands on the back of Moran. Maybe Frolik tries to pull up before impact, but either way, it was still that push that he gave to the back of Moran that sent Moran into the boards that resulted in an injury. Keeping it alive at the blue line is Owen McNamee. Down low, now Caden Hess. Quickly back to Crispin, now Hess again. Hess, top of the umbrella. His shot saved by Yoakum. The rebound, Yoakum, another kick save. Tyler Ram now with the puck. Ram, one of these products of the Northeast Generals system, coming up in their youth program, now playing at the NA3HL level. His brother Nick is in the program as well. Here's Kinahan chipping the puck out of the zone. He'll go off for a change. Quickly back is McNamee. He swings it back down into the Norwich Sea Captains zone. No icing on the play. So Yoakum comes out and settles things down for Hayden. Hayden to Byer. Byer into the zone. Missing on the check at the neutral zone was Nuzzolillo. Loose puck along the near side wall. Sent out towards center ice. Hayden was nearly taken out by the red line monster. Managed to fight him off and get the puck back down into the Generals' end. Nolan Murphy on the breakout. He'll sky one that goes into the Sea Captains bench. Looked like that was Josh Manahan calling back to his volleyball days, spiking the puck down. It might have been Cam Holton. Not sure how popular volleyball is out in West Fargo. Here it gets a little chilly out there. 15:34 to go in the first period. Byer on the draw for the Sea Caps. Goes back to Hayden at the point. Hayden deliberately shoots it wide, looking to play the bounce. Mason Joseph sees the puck behind the net. Pair of players from both teams trying to dig it out. Eventually it pops out to the near side wall where it's picked up by Nolan Murphy. Murphy over the red line. He'll snap one down into the Sea Captain zone. On the forecheck is Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo from a bad angle. Yoakum sealing things off down low. Holds on for a face-off to his right with 15:14 to go in the first period. Fresh legs on the ice. It'll be Aiden Bain, Drew Schemmel, and Troy Harwell up front for the Sea Captains. Off a 50-50 draw, Schemmel still battling for it. Puck pops out to the near side half wall. Sent down low. Generals looking to get something going. Now on the far side, given back to the point. It's Savoy. D to D they go. Shooting one well wide was Lubin. Savoy pinching in from the point, keeps it alive. Savoy on his backhand, swoops around the net. Gives along to his partner, Lubin at the point. Lubin sends it down low. Loftus will simply slap it around far side. Aiden Bain gets run over, and that's going to result in a penalty. And then getting one back is Nick Sachs for the Sea Captains, and that'll draw a crowd as well. 14:41 to go in the first period. And tempers are flaring early on as Cody Lambert is going to sit 2 minutes in the box for charging. And so we get to see the special teams for both these squads for the first time this afternoon. Coming into the game on the power play for the Sea Captains. They are 19th overall in the league, converting on 24% of their power plays. That's a nice number. Meanwhile, for the Northeast Generals, they've got a better number. They have the best penalty kill in the NA3, killing off 92.9% of their penalties. Moreover, they have scored 5 shorthanded goals so far this season. But off the draw, a shot gets deflected out of play off the stick of Harwell. And we'll do it all over again in the Northeast zone. Looks like they'll change the location of the face-off. Byer on the draw for the Sea Caps. He goes up against Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo with a face-off went into the corner, but then turning the puck over was Lubin. Now Loftus at the point. Slides it along for Kinahan. Kinahan flips one towards goal. That goes past the outstretched glove of Joseph. Sending it down low is Byer. Behind the net. First one there is Lubin, and he sends it all the way down the ice. Yoakum will stop it behind the net for Loftus. Loftus runs into some trouble. Sinopol there, and then Sinopol gets taken out by a combination of Yoakum and the net. Yoakum puts the net back onto the goal line. That can be our little secret. Don't tell anybody. As Tim Hayden has the puck behind the net. Picked off his stick and sent all the way down by Nuzzolillo. He'll go off for a change. 50 seconds gone by on Norwich's first power play of the game. Second unit now coming onto the ice as Troy Harwell begins from behind his own net. Harwell with 2 forecheckers to deal with, directs up ahead to Nick Sachs. Now Sachs, the defenseman, leading things into the zone. Sachs to the outside, tried shoveling one towards the front of the net. Harwell stripped of the puck at the blue line. Now here comes Peyton Felix shorthanded. Felix in on a breakaway. He scores. Peyton Felix snaps one upstairs shorthanded. And with 13:22 to go in the first period, the Generals lead it 1-0. For Felix, that ties him for the team lead with 10 goals on the season. Nolan Murphy also has 10. It also gives Felix his second shorthanded goal of the year. And now the Sea Captains are playing catch-up. Less than 7 minutes into the first. It'll be Cam Holton on the draw against Tyler Ram. Ram wins the puck back. Hayden pokes at it, knocked off of his stick. Sachs goes back along for Loftus. Now Sachs again. From a neutral zone, he'll throw it on goal. That goes right off the 31 on Mason Joseph's chest. And the faceoff will be down in the Gen zone with 26 seconds to go. Jack Kinahan, Tegan Byer. Or check that, it'll be Evan Tower who stays on the ice. Drew Schemmel comes out. He lines up on the blue line. Sea Captains have Hayden, and I imagine the plan will be to either get him on in front of a net or on his normal side of the umbrella. Meanwhile, looking to clear the puck out of the zone is Caden Hess. Hess, retreating back further into his own end, eventually finds a hole and sends it down the ice. 10 seconds to go on the power play as Sean Loftus leaves it behind his net for Kinahan. Now 3 to go on the power play. Kinahan drives Hessen to the boards. Can't come up with possession of the puck. Power play has expired. And now the Generals are on offense with 5 skaters. Behind the net. Loftus looking to disrupt the play. Instead, it's Ram going back up to the point. Ram's shot gets blocked by Kinahan. Now Ram again. Kinahan intercepts the pass intended for him. Kinahan then knocked down to the ice. Caden Hess from a bad angle has that deflect out of play. And the faceoff will remain in the Sea Captain zone with 12:10 to go in the first period. Now you see how aggressive the Generals are being on their penalty kill forecheck. They're sending two guys down deep. And the way you counteract that is for the power play unit, bring the wingers lower in the neutral zone, become an option for that defenseman behind the net, because the Generals managed to force a couple turnovers. And considering the power play expired a few seconds ago, they still have the puck in the offensive zone. As I say that, it's Austin Crisp now in his own end, giving along for Frolik. Holton puts one off the glass. McNamee through center ice. And now it's Lamphere. Sam Lamphere bumps off a couple. Sea Captain shot on, saved by Yoakum. And he'll hold on. As coming up with the puck was Frolik, and he sent it into Yoakum's midsection. 11:38 to go in the first. Face off to Yoakum's right, and then the Sea Captains trailing 1-0. It'll be Schemmel on the draw. He goes up against Matt Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo lost the face-off to Schemmel, but then got around him. Meanwhile, it's Aiden Bain at center ice. Bain wanted to go through the legs of Mulligan. Mulligan able to kick that chance away. Tapia at center ice. Tries leaving it for Schemmel. Schemmel turns over, and now Murphy. Hayden for the Sea Captains. Murphy one hands one up ahead where he picks up Braden Kennedy. Kennedy absorbs a check, but get the puck down deep. Hayden sends around near side. McCready pinching in from the point, goes behind the net. Nuzzolillo looking to dig things out from the skates of Tim Hayden. Hayden wins that battle, throws one off the glass that comes out of the zone. Mulligan back in his own end. Shovels one far side, collected by Daryl Smith. Smith's return pass went off a couple sticks. Eventually it was Kennedy who got it into the zone. Now in the at the red line and sending it on down is Nolan Murphy. Murphy. Now Gorman. Gorman sent one on goal. That's stuck away by Yoakum. Murphy back at the point. A quick shot on goal by Mulligan goes off the side of the cage. Now Braden Kennedy at the blue line. Sends down deep. Murphy centering feed connects with Gorman. Gorman eventually got a back shot on, saved by Yoakum. A rising shot off the stick of Mulligan went high. Aiden Bain unable to clear. Mulligan at the point. He'll send it down low. First one there is Peyton Felix, the lone goal scorer in this game. Felix goes behind the net for Gorman. Gorman in the Zamboni corner. Wants to get a cycle going. Schemmel's able to cut that off. Schemmel can't maintain possession. Given back up to the point. Mulligan for Felix. In front, deflected on goal. Good save, Yoakum. Smith looking to get the puck off the stick of Cody Lambert. Now given back up at the point. Savoya's shot catches glass. Aiden Bain tries to flip it out of the zone. Glove down by Mulligan. Loose puck diving after it was Schemmel. He missed into the glove of Andrew Yoakum as Lambert wanted to try and go upstairs. 9:29 to go in the first period. And a desperate change needed for the Sea Captains as they were pinned in their own zone. And essentially since the end of the power play. Tyler Ram on the draw. Face-off won by Evan Tower. Ram picks it up in the corner. Now Racker. Back at the point. It's Lubin. Lubin knocked down by Harwell. In the corner. Tower will pick it up, and now here come the Sea Captains. 3-on-2 if they hurry through neutral zone. Tower to the outside. Plays it off of the boards. A little too far for him to pick it up. Savoy on the back checks, able to disrupt. Given along for Racker. Racker's clearance knocked down by Manahan, but on the second chance, it goes back down into the Sea Captain zone. Yoakum sends it right into the midsection of Jamison Bain. That's a turnover. Harwell unable to clear. Poking it alive at the blue line is Lubin. And now Jamison Bain. Played off the board. Stepping in is Savoy. His shot got blocked. Directed out of the zone by Tower. He'll chase after it. Harwell forces a turnover. Now Tower sent in front. Poke checked away by Savoy. Knocked down on the play was Manahan as the puck was fielded by Mason Joseph. First time he's seen the puck in the past few minutes. 8:35 to go in the first. And the face-off to Joseph's right. Kinahan, Byer, and Holton up front for the Sea Captains. And now here's Kinahan working along the boards, or rather the goal line, sent it on goal. Joseph made the save. Delayed offsides against the Sea Captains, so they'll need to touch up, and the Generals have some time to clear. Poked over the head of Daryl Smith. Loose puck in front. Yoakum hops on top of it. Face-off will remain in the Sea Captain zone with 8:09 to go in the first period. Well, this is the only game in the NA3HL today. A couple games on tap tomorrow at 8:10 Eastern Time. Out in Minnesota, the Wilmar Warhawks will travel to the Alexandria Blizzard. And at 8:30 in Sauk Rapids, it'll be the New Ulm Steel against the Granite City Lumberjacks. And after that, we get to eat some turkey. No games on Thanksgiving, so everybody gets to get full. Harrison Ranger, after blocking a shot, a big drive goes over the top of the net. Ranger still laboring out there. Meanwhile, puck pinned in the corner. Multiple players for both teams trying to dig it on out. Austin Crisp can't hold on to it. Now here comes Aiden Bain. Crisp hustling back, takes it off of Bain's stick. McNamee sends right in front of the Norwich bench as they were in the middle of a change. Down the ice, Crisp will chase after it. Getting there first, however, is Schemmel. Schemmel and Crisp in the corner together, looking to clear it on it, or rather get possession is Aiden Bain. Eventually it pops back to Loftus at the point. His pass goes through the stick of Harwell. Picked up by Nuzzolillo, and he'll softly send it into the neutral zone. Schemmel sends it off of a Generals player who was coming onto the ice. Don't think that this is going to result in a too many men on the ice penalty. No sign given. So 7:12 to go in the first period, and a face-off coming up at the center ice dot. Evan Tower, again, hasn't played too many games with the Sea Captains so far this year. Only 3. So good to see him in the lineup for the Sea Captains today. Is that somebody who head coach Kevin Cunningham, one of the younger players, he wants to see in this program for a year or two before moving up to the next level. At the point, it's McCready. McCready tries to get it around Tapia. Tower tries going back up for Tapia. Now at the blue line, Tapia a third time. This time holds on to it, but then gets decked up high. Also getting a piece of that was Mulligan. And Tower stays on the ice as Loftus breaks this up at center ice. Tapia wanted to go further towards the general zone. Instead, it's thrown back down, and Yoakum sends it around the boards. That goes off the back of the referee, and the Generals will take possession. Nuzzolillo sends over far side. Racker, or check that, Ram, goes back to the point, and then Harwell deflects that pass out of play into the Sea Captain's bench. I think Troy Harwell's going to go to the box here. I think the Generals are, yes. Harwell goes to the box. He's going to sit 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct as something happened behind the play after the whistle had already blown. So an undisciplined play by Troy Harwell, and now we get to see the Northeast Generals power play for the first time today. Coming into this game, the Generals have the 30th out of 34 ranked NA3HL teams. On their power play, they convert on 18%. The Norwich Sea Captains, 26th overall. They kill off 65.9% of their penalties. So the Gens get to work. Here's Felix. Goes back up Mulligan. Now Felix again. Check that. That's Ram circling in the corner. Along for Mulligan. Felix, top of the umbrella, gives along to Ram. Ram stepping on in. His shot gets blocked. Daryl Smith spins one off the boards and gets as far as the red line. Now Frolik. Frolik Gets around the check of Schemmel, gets around the check of Jamison Bain as well. On one knee, sends one in front, deflected on by Ram, and Yoakum makes the save. Aiden Frolik tried to fight through a check along the boards from Jamison Bain. He was knocked down to one knee, maintained possession of the puck, and then sent one in front. That Tyler Ram was nearly able to deflect home. Back at the point, here's Crisp. D-to-D across McNamee. McNamee sends one on. That gets blocked by Hayden. McNamee down low for Nolan Murphy. Murphy wanted to try a Michigan move, instead lost possession of the puck. Sent on goal, saved by Yoakum. Generals maintain possession. Going back up to the point is McNamee. Crisp, and now along Kennedy. Off the stick of McNamee. Picked up by Nozzolillo. Cycled down low. Here's a sharp angle attempt by Murphy. That missed high and wide. But check out the passing of the Northeast Generals. Every player on the ice just touched the puck in the past 10 seconds. One-timer by Crisp. His stick failed him. It ends up in the corner. Now McNamee sends one on goal. Yoakum with the easy save. Loftus will send this all the way down the ice. Actually rolls in on goal, so Mason Joseph has to leave it along for Mulligan. Now Murphy. Flipped over far side. Jamison Bain takes a swipe at it. Following up on the play was Tower, and he gets it out towards center ice. Off the stick of Murphy, Darryl Smith will send it all the way down. 10 seconds to go on the power play. On the forecheck, shorthanded is Evan Tower. Boy, he'd certainly like to get a shorthanded goal. He already has one assist. Still looking for his first goal at the junior level. Penalty has expired. We're back to five-a-side hockey as Braden Kennedy controls behind the net. Throws one in front. Eventually gets there, and sending one just wide was Mulligan. Mulligan from the point spins one that goes through the blue paint and wide. Referee takes a tumble along the goal line. Loose puck picked up by Manahan. Knocked off his stick by Kennedy. Manahan then unable to clear. Shot from the point, steered aside by Yoakum. Another shot. That's blocked by Bain. Tower gets it as far as the red line. Generals in the middle of a change, but Harwell stepping up on the play. His shot into the glove of Joseph, and Mason Joseph elects to play it along. So now Tegan Byer looks to force a turnover. Getting involved is Harrison Ranger as well. Puck cleared out of the zone. Tim Hayden there, and he'll give it back for Loftus with 3.5 to go in the first. Loftus sent it through center ice. That bounced over the stick of Harwell. Loose puck picked up by Lambert. Lambert into the Sea Captain zone. Has his shot blocked by Loftus. Another shot from the point. Another block by Sean Loftus. Tripped up from behind was Harrison Ranger. Play continues as this shot from the point never made it through on goal. Shoveling it out of the zone eventually is Tegan Byer. And now Cedric Savoy. Along for Gorman. Down low, Loftus. Around the horn for Byer. Byer wanted to get it further for Harrison Ranger. Kept in the zone by Cameron Young. Ranger knocked off his stick by Young again. Young tried throwing one in front. Hayden got in the way of that. Knocked out of the zone. A pair of Generals fell over each other in the Sea Captain's end. And they see the puck hop on right past them. Long pass up ahead, connects with Byer. Byer a snapshot from the blue line. Saved by Joseph. And again, Joseph elects to play it. So now McCready. Sent over far side, Sinopol. Sinopol pushed up against the boards by Sachs. Behind the net, or rather in the corner, Lamphere. Loose puck, stepping on in is Mulligan. Eddie Mulligan, puck on his backhand with 2:10 to go in the first. Mulligan on a tour of the offensive zone, takes a shot eventually, and Yoakum scoops it up. Face-off will be to his left with 2:07 to go in the first period. Taking a look at the Sea Captain's bench. No sign of Tony Moran, who was injured at the beginning of this game. Just really a few minutes in on a check from behind that went uncalled. We'll try and get an update on Moran between periods. Off the draw, trying to win it forward was Racker. He eventually gloved it towards goal, and Yoakum doesn't take a chance. He still gets a glove on it himself. It's a bit more legal when the goaltender gets his glove on it. Face off once again, deep in the Norwich zone. On a 50-50 draw. Controlled by the Sea Captains. Kinahan unable to clear him, and Kinahan lost a stick on the play. Meanwhile, Jamison Bain comes together with Tyler Ram in a battle of number 22s. Ram, a backhand shot, went over the top of the net. Ram and Bain again. Bain able to break things up at the point. D to D they go. McCready couldn't control the pass from Mulligan. Behind the net, it's Racker. The captain of the Generals goes back up to Mulligan at the point. Mulligan able to step around Kinahan and send it back down deep. Now Racker tries a blind backhand pass to connect with Ram. Knocked away by Smith. From a sharp angle, Yoakum makes a save. Now McCready at the top of the circle swings it on down with 80 seconds to go in the period. Caden Hess for the Generals looking to dig the puck out of the corner. Racker there as well. Racker and now Ram. Ram has Hess and gives to him. Caden Hess swings one over far side. McCready pinching in from the point. Jamison Bain gets there first. Now with under a minute to play in the period. Sent in front. A shot saved by Yoakum, and he'll hold on. 53.6 to go in the first period. And the Northeast Generals right now certainly controlling a majority of play. The Sea Captains have been limited to shots basically on the rush and from the outside for the second half of this period. Behind the net, a wraparound attempt. Yoakum strong on the post. Keeping it alive is Crisp. Austin Crisp shovels down low, now passed in front by Murphy. A shot gets blocked. Crisp and Loftus come together. 33 to go in the period. Back up at the point. Nazalillo. Shot gets blocked. Trying to poke it on deep is Kennedy. Kennedy eventually lost possession of it. Here is Tower caught from behind. Tries threading a needle for Harwell in the neutral zone. Thrown in on goal. A bouncer by McNamee, and that forces Yoakum to hold on with 15.6 to go in the period. A difficult shot for Andrew Yoakum to handle, even though it came from the neutral zone, but a fluttering puck that bounces before you. That's the stuff that gives goaltenders nightmares. Braden Kennedy on the draw against Tegan Byer. Byer with a clean face-off win. He wins it forward out of the zone. 10 seconds to go in the period. Back to retrieve is McNamee. McNamee sends over far side. Nuzzolillo shovels it back into the Sea Captains and on goal. And with 2.9 to go in the period, time for one more offensive zone face-off. Mason Joseph looking at the Generals bench. But he's waved back to his net saying, no, we don't need to take that chance. So 2.9 to go in the period. Shot right off the face-off. Yoakum steered it aside. That will do it for the first. A little push. Captains, Tyler Ram for the Northeast Generals, and we're back underway. Generals in their road navy uniforms with the orange trim, rather reminiscent of the Edmonton Oilers' third jerseys, as this gets deflected off of one of the support beams that holds the ceiling over our head. Face-off will remain in the neutral zone, and Byer and Ram get prepared to face each other again. Ram with the face-off win back. Loose puck at center ice. Gens pick it up through the blue line. Deflected in, so no icing on the play as Smith wraps around far side. Pinching in from the point is McNamee. McNamee throws one that goes across the slot. Crisp at the blue line. He can't do anything with it as Harrison Ranger clears it on out. But in support, Caden Hess gets it right back down into the Sea Captain's end. Passing across, and a one-time shot by Ram goes wide. Sent in front, and Yoakum got a pad on it. Sea Captains being heavily outshot in that first period by a 21-5 margin as icing is called against Northeast. Faceoff will come back down into the general zone. And they'll line up to the left of Mason Joseph. Max Tapia, Jamison Bain, Josh Manahan, your forwards for the Sea Captains. Hayden on the point, alongside Tony Moran, who's going to give it a go after being injured in the first period. Loose puck. Ram couldn't get it out. Manahan will send it back down deep. First one there is McNamee. McNamee swings over near side. Hess gives a swipe, gets it out of the zone. Hayden chips off the glass and sends it back down. Chipped out of the zone once again. Hayden tries going along for Moran. Tapia directs it into the zone. Manahan at the end of his shift. And so Tapia will get on the forecheck as Hayden Hess picks it up in the neutral zone and sends it on down. Now Hess swings down low. Racker gets dumped down to the ice by Moran. Moran lost his stick on the play. He's able to retrieve his twig. Meanwhile, the Generals maintain possession. It's Racker again in the corner. Hess shovels one that goes through the slot. Loose puck picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy just sends it into an empty corner. Moran is there to pick it up. Moran's pass just too far for Kinahan. Kinahan chasing after it, but blown down on the icing as Cedric Savoy was able to get his body in the right position. Face-off will come back down into the Norwich zone with 2:02 gone by in the second period. Tower, Kinahan, and Tapia up front. On the draw for the Generals. Looks like it's Peyton Felix. And check that, it's Braden Kennedy. Kennedy tried winning it forward. Tower had other ideas. Sent back down into the Sea Captain zone, where Hayden will swing it out from behind his own net. Kept alive at the blue line by Lubin. Now turned over, sent in front, a shot. Great save, Andrew Yoakum. Going post to post and robbing Frolik. Now Hayden. Off the glass. Off the stick of Savoy and out towards the neutral zone. Murphy will throw it in on goals and direct it into the corner by Yoakum. Now Kinahan. Unable to hold the line was McNamee. Tower gives up ahead for Harwell. Harwell back across for Tower, but poke checked away by Tommy Lubin. Now Lubin throws over far side where Murphy's waiting for it. Murphy softly into the Sea Captain's end. Yoakum simply leaves it along for Loftus, and then Holton gets it as far as the red line before McNamee will send it back on down into the zone. Now Loftus again. This time reverses for Holton. Holton wants to keep the reverse going. Tower waiting for it. Tower eventually gives along to Harwell, who got hit up high. And we have a whistle on an offsides, but Joey McCready comes up high on Troy Harwell, hits him in the helmet. It goes undetected. Face-off will be in the neutral zone with 16:42 to go in the second period. Peyton Felix on the draw against Tegan Byer. Byer with the clean win back. Hayden D-to-D across for Moran. Moran chipped off the boards all the way down the ice. This should be icing. And there's the whistle. As touching up is Joey McCready. So face off down into the Sea Captain zone. They'll line up on the left-hand wing to Yoakum's right. Felix and Byer once again on the draw. Generals have two forwards in the slot, and Cody Lambert and Sean Gorman. Off the draw, it's controlled by the Generals. Sending one wide was Gorman. Mulligan at the blue line sends it back down deep. Moran the first one to it. He's quickly met by Gorman. Loose puck pops out into the corner. Aiden Bain. Moran is down in the slot. And he's having some real difficulty getting back up to his skates. Penalties coming up against the Generals as Byer is able to clear. Byer then gets hooked from behind. McCready touches up. And it's going to be a high sticking call going against Northeast, as making his way to the penalty box for the Generals is Cody Lambert. So, Lambert to the box. Sea Captains to the power play for the second time this afternoon. They're 0 for 1 so far, still looking for their first goal in this game. Tony Moran was able to make it back to the Sea Captain's bench under his own power, but you can tell that he's hobbled out there. So Tim Hayden, Troy Harwell, Sean Loftus, Tegan Byer, and Jack Kinahan, the power play unit for the Sea Captains. They'll try and get set up in their umbrella once again. Off a win by Byer, it goes back to Loftus. Harwell fans on the one-timer. Loose puck picked up by Frolik. Frolik dumped down to the ice by Byer. Meanwhile, back the other way, here's Sinopel shorthanded. Sinopel leaves it along, and now Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo, he gets decked down into the corner as Tegan Byers showing himself around physically in this shift. Now Timmy Hayden through center ice. Offsides called as Hayden, one too many stick handles at the blue line, drew off Troy Harwell. Faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. 29 seconds gone by on the power play. Faceoff will actually come to the near side. And Sea Captains with 6 skaters on the ice. You're not allowed to have that many. Evan Tower will stay on. Tim Hayden, the guilty party. He'll go back to the Pine. Off the draw, it's one forward and all the way down the ice by Peyton Felix. Here's Moran. Behind the net for Tower. Tower runs into some trouble as Felix is able to break things up. Nick Sachs at center ice has his stick lifted, and sending it back on down is Gorman. In front, they score! Peyton Felix, his second shorthanded goal of the game. And the Generals lead it 2-0. Just a broken play down low. And Felix with a sharp backhand, his 11th of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Northeast Generals lead it 2-0. 15-13 to go in the second period. Tegan Byer will step in for another faceoff against Peyton Felix. And Felix is able to win the faceoff forward down into the Sea Captain's end. Moran pressed up against the wall by Gorman. Byer helps it along further. Jack Kinahan runs into Mulligan. Sent back down into the Sea Captain's zone where Troy Harwell will pick it up. 50 seconds to go on the Sea Captain's power play. They have surrendered 2 shorties in this game. Here is Harwell into the general zone. Harwell pressed up against the wall. Kinahan from the blue line throws it towards the cage. Hayden swings one in front. Now Kinahan towards goal. That's blocked. Eddie Mulligan, the defenseman, has it knocked off his stick. Following up on play is Lubin with a drive, and Moran fearlessly gets in front of that. Now Tim Hayden with 18 seconds to go on the power play. Hayden at center ice, hit by Sinopel. That results in a turnover and a penalty. As coming up high was Zach Sinopel, and he's going to sit 2 minutes for head contact. So now the Sea Captains will have a 5-on-3 power play for only 13 seconds. Whoever's on the blue line will have to keep their head on a swivel and make sure there's no general coming out of the box behind them. It's going to be Nick Sachs, Drew Schemmel, Cam Holton, Evan Tower, and Tim Hayden on the draw. Looked like the Sea Captains wanted to call a timeout and talk things over, but play continues as Austin Crisp sends one that takes an interesting hop off a glass stanchion and remains in the zone. Here is Hayden, winding and firing just high. Now Schemmel. First penalty's expired. It's 5-on-4 as Austin Crisp sends one off the glass. Holton went for the check. That springs forward. Nuzzolillo, he scores! Matthew Nuzzolillo, the 3rd shorthanded goal by the Generals in this game, and they lead it 3-0. For Nuzzolillo, it is his 7th goal of the season. His 2nd shorthanded. And the Northeast Generals are now cruising with a pair of shorties in this period to make it 3-0. Now a timeout called by the Sea Captains. They wanted to call a timeout before the offensive zone face-off. They were not granted that timeout. And then the Generals march down ice, shorthanded once again, and find the back of the net. As mentioned earlier, this is the third of 10 meetings between these teams this season. Teams will next face each other right before they all head out to Blaine, Minnesota for the Super Tournament. That'll be a December 18th tilt out in Attleboro, Massachusetts. 6:30 your face-off right here on Hockey TV. The Generals with 3 shorthanded goals in this game. That moves them into a tie for first overall in the NA3HL with the Gillette Wild and the Helena Bighorns. All 3 of those teams now with 8 shorties so far this season. So Yoakum returns to goal on our left. Let's see what the Sea Captains can pull together with their backs up against the wall. It'll be Nick Sachs up front with Tegan Beyer and Jack Kinahan. Tim Hayden and Troy Harwell with the puck. Back for Hayden. And now Harwell. Pass too far for Hayden. This goes down the ice, and icing is called. 40 seconds gone by on the second the second part of this 5-on-3. 13:34 to go in the second period. Beyer and Ram on the draw. Beyer with a clean face-off win. He's been strong in the face-off dot so far this game. Beyer in the corner. Has to deal with the sudden forecheck of Caden Hess. Managed to get it back to Hayden, and now Beyer again. Beyer had some trouble controlling it, still managed to poke it past Ram. Turned over at the blue line. Kinahan swings it along and finds Beyer on the near side. Beyer sends down deep. Wrapped around the boards. Kept alive by Hayden. Hayden walking along the blue line. Gives down low. Holton a one-time shot. That is blocked. Now Holton again. Harwell. Tried saucing one along for Beyer. Shot from the point. Deflected on goal. Saved by Joseph. Holton gave a poke afterwards. But Mason Joseph, who hasn't seen many shots in this game, had to stay sharp. Face-off will be to his right. Holton drawing a couple comments from the Generals defenseman for poking at goaltender Mason Joseph. Whistle hadn't blown yet, so no call on the play. Jamison Bain, the last one over the bench for the Sea Captains, as it's Evan Tower on the draw. One by Northeast. Slapped around by Mulligan. Moran at center ice, tied up with Racker. And now Nuzzolillo, most recent goal scorer in this game. Nuzzolillo slides one that goes through the slot. Everybody watching it. And so Racker for the Generals gives back to the point. Unable to hold the line was Mulligan. Tower can't knock Mulligan off the puck, and Mulligan will send it down deep. Yoakum leaves it for Moran. D to D, now Harwell. Harwell up for Holton. Holton swings one up ahead, getting a stick on his Tower, so no icing on the play. Tower couldn't get possession. It swung around the boards by Lubin. Harwell keeps it alive. Now Harwell along the goal line. A centering feed knocks a stick out of the hands of Mulligan. Following up on the play and sending it all the way down was Nuzzolillo. Icing is called as a penalty had expired seconds prior. And with 12:01 to go in the second period, well, another face-off in the General zone. So face-off to the left of Joseph. Nuzzolillo and Beyer on the draw. Beyer wins it. Takes the shot by Hayden. Beyer might have gotten a piece of it. Manahan looking to peel the puck out of the scrum. Nuzzolillo in there as well. Harrison Ranger knocks it forward. where it's controlled by the Generals. Flipped into the Sea Captain zone by Lubin. First one there is Sinopol. Sinopol sends one in front. Knocked down on the play was Frolik. Now Bayer. Bayer overskated the puck. Gives back to Hayden. Hayden off the boards for Harrison Ranger. Pinching in and keeping it alive was Lubin. Loose puck in the slot. Knocked off the stick of Manahan. Now Lubin from the point. Punched down by Yoakum. Frolik. Gets around Hayden. Swings it back. D to D they go. Here's Lubin. Giving along Mulligan. Mulligan misfires. Lost his skating, or rather lost his footing on the play. Suppose you can say he lost his skating as well. Chipped out of the zone, and now here's Hayden at the red line. He'll throw it back in. 10:50 to go in the second period. Northeast Generals lead at 3-0. Moran from the point, stopped by Joseph. The rebound still loose in front, and in the blue paint, it's cleared out of danger by Lampert. Now Tapia. Knocked off his stick by Mulligan. Loose puck picked up by Lamphere, and he gives along for Lubin. Lubin offsides is called. And so the faceoff will come back into the neutral zone with 10:26 to go in the second period. Fresh legs on the ice for the Generals. It'll be Evan Tower on the draw for Norwich. He goes up against Braden Kennedy. Tower looks to win it forward, and he does. Kinahan there to help out as well. Tapia trying to knock it into the zone. Eventually, he's able to do so. Austin Crisp picks it up for Northeast, and he's able to outrace Tower to the corner. Given along, and now it's Nuzzolillo. He'll throw one far side corner. Moran chasing after it. On the forecheck is Crisp. Boy, Austin Crisp got down the ice in a hurry. Crisp now with the puck. A shot goes off the glove of Yoakum. Picked up by Moran. Moran has an outlet pass in Tapia, just out of his reach. Now Moran again. This time he'll try playing it along the boards. Tapia collects the puck on the half wall. Can't get around Crisp on the first attempt, and then following up on the play, Kennedy keeps it in the zone. Moran again tries the near side wall. Tapia this time gets it past Crisp, and Tower's there to pick it up. Tower quickly met by McNamee. McNamee forces a turnover. Now here come the Generals 3-on-1 into the zone. Dropped it back. Here's Murphy. A shot goes wide. Nolan Murphy with 10 goals coming into this game. That led the Northeast Generals until Peyton Felix scored 2 shorthanded. Now Troy Harwell in the corner looking for support. Harwell dishes back. Sachs maintains possession of the puck. Nick Sachs showing off some good hands for the defenseman. Behind the net, knocked off his stick. Schemmel sends it in front, and Harwell fans on the one-timer. Smith sends it back down. This might be a delayed icing. No, waved off as the Sea Captains were still clearing the zone. Quickly up ahead, Gorman. Up along further. Here's Kennedy in. Kennedy, good save. Andrew Yoakum. And the net gets rotated about 45 degrees off true. So the faceoff will remain in the Sea Captain zone. But Braden Kennedy getting behind the Norwich defense, tried to go low to the blocker's side, and Yoakum had him all the way. Face off to Yoakum's right. Drew Schemmel on the draw against Peyton Felix. Felix's bid for a natural hat trick got broken up by that last goal, courtesy of Matt Nuzzolillo. Chipped off the glass right in front of us. Schemmel gets it as far as the Generals' blue line. Back the other way, Daryl Smith throwing the body as Cody Lampert is unable to enter the zone. And then we have a whistle for a hand pass. So the faceoff will be back in the neutral zone with 8:26 to go in the second period. Tegan Bayer and Peyton Felix. These two are getting familiar with each other. Bayer with the face-off win. Off the back of the skates of Harrison Ranger. Giving up ahead, Bayer into the zone. Bayer lost possession as he was run into by Savoy. Puck in the skates of Lampert. He'll throw it out towards the near side wall. Tim Hayden there to collect. Hayden under pressure. He saw one forechecker, didn't see the second in Peyton Felix. Now Felix sends one to the slot, blocked by Harrison Ranger, and Ranger will clear it on out. Ranger at the red line. He'll send it down deep. Upended on the play by Lubin. Holton throws a body behind the net. Now Lubin. Up ahead for Lampert. Lampert can't get it into the Sea Captain zone. Following up on the play, Savoy, he can. Yoakum behind the net. Now Bain. Leaving it for Hayden. Hayden sends it out of his zone. Jamison Bain is down behind the play. Now back up to his skates. Meanwhile, the Generals through center ice. Hayden off the boards, can't connect with Byer. Second chance opportunity goes right onto the stick of Lubin. Now Hayden again. Back for Bain. Bain plays this off the boards, off the stick of McCready, so no icing on the play. Evan Tower, the first one there. Nice hustle shown by Tower. Tower tries feeding along for Manahan, but has his stick disintegrate on him. Meanwhile, knocked down behind the net was Kinahan. Now Caden Hess. Hess through center ice. Tries to get around Smith. Moran unable to clear. Sharp angle attempt by Ram goes over the top of the net. Coming up with it is Harwell. Harwell off the stick of Kinahan. Sent back down into the Sea Captain zone. 6.5 to go in the second. Manahan at center ice. For Kinahan. Kinahan directs it on down. Mason Joseph leaves it to the side of his cage. Nice hustle shown by Harwell. Can't take it off the stick of Joseph. Now the Gens come back the other way. Getting turned around in the neutral zone was Caden Hess. Delayed call coming up as Tapia was tripped up behind the play. Joseph touches up. And with 6:10 to go in the second period, we'll get to see the Norwich Sea Captains on their fourth power play of the game. They are 0 for 3 so far. Tyler Ram goes to the penalty box, 2 minutes for elbowing. So 6:10 to go in the second. Face off to the right of Joseph. Tegan Byer on the draw once more for the Sea Captains. He'll go up against Nuzzolillo. Byer with the face-off win. At the point, Moran tried giving back along for Kinahan. Shutting the door was Austin Crisp. And then a shot gets deflected off the stick of Sinopol. It ended up behind the net. Nuzzolillo and Moran come together. Moran able to chip it along to the near side wall, as now Harwell gives back for Hayden. Pass outside of Harwell's reach. Crisp sends one on goal. That's stuck aside by Yoakum. Sent in front off the stick of Nuzzolillo. Byer unable to clear. Well, this is what the power play has looked like so far in this game for the Sea Captains. Being pinned down in their own end with the aggressive two-man penalty kill of the Northeast Generals. Here is Harwell. Getting the puck over the red line and sending it down deep. Harwell, the first one to it. Centering feed, finds Kinahan, a shot, saved by Joseph. The rebound trickles out into the corner. Now Kinahan tries giving back for Holton, turned over, and now here come the Generals. 2-on-1 shorthanded. It's Peyton Felix with speed. Felix, a shot, gloved by Yoakum, and he'll hold on. Well, if the Sea Captains have any hope of getting back into this game, that was a save that Andrew Yoakum needed to make. Peyton Felix already with a pair of shorthanded goals in this game. Almost looking for the incredibly rare shorthanded hat trick. Drew Schemmel on the draw. And now it's Sachs. Moran back for Sachs. Sachs gets it out towards the neutral zone. Now Moran from the red line sends one down into the near side corner. Cam Holton gets there first. Holton behind the net, looking for an option. He's got 27 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Sachs with a shot, saved by Joseph. Schemmel down low for Tower. Evan Tower back for Schemmel, just out of Schemmel's reach. Coming on by and clearing the puck out of the zone was Gorman. Yoakum with 8 seconds to go in the period, or rather in the power play. Holton around for Moran. And now Holton again, penalty has expired. We're back to even strength hockey with 4:05 to go in the period. Harwell manages to get around Ram. Harwell, a snapshot glove down by Joseph. And the faceoff will be in the general zone. Well, Troy Harwell, one of those speedy players who can make things happen through a neutral zone. He's got the shot to match as well. Trevor Souza, another good example of that on the Sea Captains team, but Souza not available for this afternoon's affair. Beyer and Ram on the draw. Tyler Ram with the face-off win. Sent around the boards by McNamee. Here's Racker for Hess, but offsides is called. And the face-off will be in the neutral zone. You know, taking a look at the Sea Captains bench, noticing a couple players missing. Sean Loftus, perhaps the most notable of that. We'll try and get an update on that during the intermission. Flipped up ahead, and here's Harwell into the general zone. Harwell in the corner, lost his footing, tried to get back up to his skates, knocked off his stick by McNamee. Racker fights through a check from Beyer. And now it's Ram. Down low. Caden Hess goes back up at the point. Crisp. Crisp's shot gets blocked. Now Manahan with it up ahead. Manahan from the red line tried giving it back for Harwell. Harwell then ends up tripping up Crisp. No call on the play. Caden Hess off the stick of Racker, but on the wrong side of the red line, so icing should be called. There's the whistle. The face-off is going to come all the way back down into the general's end. 3:03 to go in the second period. Schemmel, Holton, Aiden Bain up front. Hayden and Moran on the points. Waiting on Tyler Ram. Looks like he's ready. And Ram wins the face-off back. Sent around far side. Already there waiting for it was Sam Lamphere. Lamphere is able to direct it up ahead, and now Tyler Ram with speed into the Sea Captain zone. Ram a shot, he scores! Tyler Ram off the post and in. 4-0 Generals. For Ram, it is his 7th goal of the season. And it's the 3rd goal in this period scored by the Generals. Their first at even strength. They hold a 4-goal lead with 2:52 to go in the second period. Back underway, it's Aiden Frolik. Beaten to the puck by Bain. Sent far side by Tower, outside the reach of Kinahan. First one there is Savoy. He simply throws it up the boards. Kinahan back the other way. And now Tower in the corner. Tower throws it back to the point. It's Kinahan. Kinahan a shot. It goes wide. Lamphere looking to clear. Sends one off the boards in front of us. Lubin chasing after it. And then the puck flutters out of play. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Looked like Lubin and Bain had a couple words for each other. Puck gets thrown back onto the ice. So, no souvenir on that one. 2:18 to go in the period. Tegan Beyer on the draw. He wins it back for Hayden. D-to-D across for Moran. And now it's Beyer at the red line. Feeds up ahead for Tapia. Tapia knocked off his stick by Lubin. Hayden and Lubin in the corner. Lubin wanted to go behind the net. Waiting for that was Tapia. Now pass towards the slot. Defense away by Lamphere. Here come the Generals back the other way. Aiden Frolik in. Aiden Frolik a shot diving out Moran. And he sends it wide. Sent across now McNamee. Or check that, McCready with the shot. Goes wide. Mulligan. Loose puck in front. Eventually ends up on the stick of Tapia. He feeds up ahead, and now here's Troy Harwell in on a breakaway. Harwell caught from behind, the shot saved by Joseph. 88 seconds to go in the period. maybe the best offensive opportunity that the Sea Captains have had in this period. Byer at the red line. Connects with Holton. Holton into the general zone. Holton knocked down, sliding behind the net, trying to maintain possession of the puck. That seems to be a theme in today's game. Now Eddie Mulligan. Up ahead for McCready. And he connects further with Lamphere. Lamphere offsides, as getting a stick on it was Jamison Bain off the stick of Nolan Murphy. So the faceoff will come back out towards the neutral zone. Under a minute to play in the second. We've got 55.4 to go. Schemmel and Kennedy. Faceoff won by Schemmel. And it'll be Jamison Bain. Swinging one hard around to the far side. Harrison Ranger there. Stepping up on the play and breaking it up was McNamee. And now Murphy. His shot scores! Nolan Murphy with a seeing eye shot through traffic from the blue line. And it's 5-0 Gens. Oh, Murphy, perhaps annoyed that Peyton Felix already has 2 in this game. For Murphy, it's his 11th goal of the season, and that ties him with Felix once again for the team lead. Generals looking for more before the period ends. A shot by Murphy goes off the glass and out of play. Faceoff will remain in the Sea Captain zone. Now some pushing and shoving as Evan Tower and Nolan Murphy come together. Bit of a size mismatch as Evan Tower clocks in at 5'9", and Nolan Murphy is 6'3". So Tower back on the draw. Tower hit up high off the draw by Kennedy. Play continues as Kinahan with 27 seconds to go. Kinahan knocked down in the corner. Manahan in support, can't come up with it. Owen McNamee has his outlet pass knocked down by Tower. Moran pinching alive at the blue line. Kept it in the zone only for a moment. 13 seconds to go in the period. Flopped back down into the near side corner. McNamee can't get around Manahan. Thrown out towards center ice. Nolan Murphy picks it up. Murphy gets around Bain. Murphy sent in front, and the whistle blows. Yoakum made the save regardless. Record of 1-5-1. A goals against average of .370. A save percentage of 90.7. And he'll see out the rest of this game as we are underway. Tegan Byer sends us into the Generals bench. And we'll do it all over again at center ice. This is the last game before Thanksgiving for both of these teams. Sea Captains will be in action again with a visit down to New Jersey next week on December 2nd. A 12:30 face-off, and we'll have an away feed for that game, so be sure to tune in right here on Hockey TV. Generals send one on goal. Pellerito makes his first save of the game. Harrison Ranger unable to clear. Loose puck picked up by Crisp, and Crisp will send it down low. Jamison Bain there to cut it off, turns the puck over. Given back up at the point. McNamee a drive, catches nothing but glass. Harrison Ranger can't get it past a pinching Crisp. Crisp a shot, saved by Pellerito, and Pellerito will get a glove on it. Face-off will be to his right. 50 seconds gone by in the third. Brendan Pellerito already with a couple saves to his credit. It'll be Evan Tower on the draw against Matt Nuzzolillo. Off the draw, it ends up in the near side corner. A swinging shot on goal by Murphy, easily handled by Pellerito. This gets sent down the ice on goal, so no icing on the play. McNamee turns the puck over. A backhand shot saved by Joseph. The net's come off of its moorings. Play continues. Mason Joseph takes a look at the linesman and then fixes it himself. Now Moran. Off the stick of Holton. Unable to hold the line with Cedric Savoy, so the Sea Captains are able to clear. Jack Kinahan from the neutral zone will send one hard around the boards. Cam Holton gets there first. Holton shoved off the puck by Savoy. Tower in there as well for the Sea Caps. Tower gets hit up high in the face, still manages to play through it. Puck still caught in that scrum. Cam Holton simply holding the puck up against the boards, takes a shot from Cedric Savoy. And Tower again knocked down to the ice. Finally, the puck is worked out. It seemed like it was stuck there for a good 30 seconds. Jamison Bain loves a puck down, keeps it in the zone, but only momentarily, has Nolan Murphy. Has his pass knocked out of midair by Daryl Smith. Nice hand-eye shown by the Kansan. Face-off will be out in the neutral zone as offsides has been called. So face-off right in front of the Sea Captain's bench as Peyton Felix and Drew Schemmel meet each other once more in the face-off dot. A 50-50 draw. The Generals will send it on down deep. Jamison Bain around for Aiden Bain. Big collision behind the net between Jamison Bain and Cody Lampert. Meanwhile, a shot that Pellerito saw all the way, glove down. Then the face-off will be to his right. 17:44 to go in the third period. It'll be Schemmel and Felix once again. And again, you see the Generals load up their slot with Sean Gorman and Cody Lampert right there. Bit of a pile-up in front of the cage of Brendan Pellerito. Tim Hayden at the bottom of it. So we'll line up once again. But you see how the Generals line this up. They've got defenseman Joey McCready playing on the weak side. And that prevents the winger from getting out to the point. And they've got Eddie Mulligan at the blue line. If Felix can't win the faceoff towards goal, that's the option back at the point. Here's McCready sending it down low. Coming up with the puck is Lampert. Lampert swings one towards goal. Pellerito gets a stick on it. In the corner. This gets deflected out of the zone, and so back to retrieve. In his own end is Peyton Felix. Felix with 2 on the day. His pass goes off the stick of Gorman. And now Eddie Mulligan. Mulligan off sides, as just ahead of the play was Sean Gorman. The faceoff will come back out into the neutral zone. 3:01 gone by in the third. Fans, make sure that you're following the Norwich Sea Captains on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check them out at Norwich NA3HL. That's Norwich NA3HL. Troy Harwell picking up a loose puck in his own end. 2-on-2 through the neutral zone. Harwell gains the red line and sends it down deep. Kinahan the first one there. Kinahan quickly met by Gorman. Another scrum along the wall. This one not as long as Owen McNamee is able to come up with it. His pass too far for Snopel. A one-time shot by Smith. Joseph got a stick on it. Loose puck. And now here come the Generals out of the zone. Aiden Frolik galloping through center ice. Takes a hit from Sachs. Still managed to get the puck down into the Sea Captain's end. Pellerito plays it around for Smith. Now Kinahan can't clear. Holding the line is McNamee. Loose puck in front. Sinopol gives it a long shot. Saved by Pellerito. He got it with the inside of his left skate. Now Sinopol at the point. Tries to get around Harwell. Harwell did enough to break things up. Sinopol gets a puck back. A shot saved by Pellerito. Loose puck picked up by Byer. He'll play one off the boards. Intended for Harwell. Cut down at center ice by Crisp. Loose puck at the blue line. And now it's Kinahan from the red line. Back down into the general zone. Harwell picks it up. Just as quickly, it's knocked off of his stick by McNamee. Crisp. Word check that was Savoy able to work it out of the zone. Now through center ice, it's Frolik. Dished along for McNamee. McNamee, the defenseman, sends down low. Now finds the puck on his stick at the point. McNamee slides it along for Hess. Hess's shot was blocked. Now Savoy. Savoy's shot goes wide. Hess touches back to the point. The shot by McNamee went well wide. Savoy sends it down back behind the net. Savoy and Tower in the corner. That draws a crowd as well. Over 5 minutes gone by in the third. Caden Hess there to pick up the puck. Knocked off his stick by Smith. Puck still lost in that corner. Eventually it comes back to the point. McNamee sent one wide. Coming on in is Ram. Tyler Ram off the bench. Tries to battle through the defense put on him behind the net by Tower. Got the puck back up to the point. McNamee thinking shot, instead slides down low for Hess. Now McNamee again. McNamee has that roll off of his stick towards net. Racker sends in front, and Ram couldn't pull the trigger. Now Ram again for Hess. Hess top of the circle. A wrist shot goes wide. Rattles off the boards and out of the zone, and then Caden Hess gets taken out by the blue line monster. That's enough for his shift. He'll head back to the bench. Racker along the near side wall. No icing on the play. Drew Schemmel's looking for it, but the whistle's not coming. So Moran behind the net. Schemmel there to help out. Aiden Bain as well. Bain turns the puck over. Schemmel following up on the play is able to flip it out of the zone. Puck rolling down the ice. This may be enough for icing, and indeed it will be. So the faceoff will come back down into the Sea Captain's end with 13:43 to go in the third period. We do not have the official shots on goal. Unofficially, we have over 60 for the Northeast Generals. The Generals put up 92 shots on goal in one of their last games against the New Jersey Titans. As you take a look at those games, defeating New Jersey by scores of 8-0 and 7-0. And now with another 5 goals, they have scored 20 goals since the last one they surrendered in a 3-2 shootout victory against the Long Beach Sharks back on November 14th. Gens have not kept the same goaltenders in as Mason Joseph and DeMar McCoy keep switching back and forth. Nice little shutout streak going for the organization. Loose puck in the corner. It's Tony Moran who picks it up. Moran turns it over, and now Murphy. Murphy knocked off of his stick. Puck comes out towards center ice. Here's Mulligan. Far side McCready. Into the zone, Nuzzolillo knocked off his stick. McCready sends it back down into the Sea Captain's end. Nick Sachs gives along for Moran. Moran in trouble. Pressed up against the wall by Kennedy and then knocked down to the ice. Puck in the corner again. Back at the point, here's Mulligan. Mulligan gets around Bain. Mulligan a shot, saved by Pellerito, and he holds on. Now some pushing and shoving after whistles. Tony Moran's involved for the Sea Captains. Can't catch who's involved for the Generals. Now Murphy will get involved. Nick Sachs will pair up with him, and everybody getting into it. Referee knocked down to the ice. I'm not sure which player knocked the referee down, and the referee appears to be injured as well. Moran taken out of the pile. He's missing his bucket. Austin Crisp as well. And then the players are able to separate. So Moran to the box for the Sea Captains. Braden Kennedy to the box for the Generals. Braden Kennedy still jawing at Moran at the penalty box. Now let's find out what the penalties actually are. Nolan Murphy wants to have a couple words. Murphy's actually being shown the door. So we'll see if Murphy ends up getting kicked out of this game. And again, it's only Moran in the box for the Sea Captains. And so Tegan Byer and Nick Racker will await to hear things from the officials. Feel bad for the official scorekeepers today, and Alex Cymbaluk and Ethan Ranger helping out. As there's going to be lots to write down and lots to figure out. No penalty time has gone up on the board yet. Drew Schemmel has gone back to the Norwich Sea Captains locker room. I didn't think Schemmel was really involved with that. Well, this will take some time to figure on out. So while we have a moment, let's talk about what one of the unique things about junior hockey is the billet system. Billet family is one that takes in players from around the country. The Sea Captains, I know, speaking personally, we have some great billet families, but we do need more. So if you can, hop onto the Norwich Sea Captains site. Sea Captains are looking for families that live within a half-hour radius of the Rose Garden Ice Arena. It's a nice opportunity to provide a loving home for someone who is looking to play their way into a college scholarship. Billet families are compensated $500 a month, and they receive a pair of complimentary season tickets for the household. Tony Moran getting sent to the Norwich locker room, as is Braden Kennedy as well. And now the officials explaining the penalties to the coaches. And Darryl Locke of the Northeast Generals, sure he's interested in what this will be and find out if any of his players have been lost for the game. Kevin Cunningham now of the Norwich Sea Captains will get a similar explanation, and we'll try our best to get the penalties for you as soon as we're aware of them. 12:43 to go in the second period. Still no penalty time up on the board. And now we are simply waiting for the penalties to actually get our way. Another nice thing about the Norwich Sea Captains, everybody loves complimentary stuff, especially complimentary free tickets, and especially free season tickets. Another way you can get free season tickets is by becoming a sponsor of the Norwich Sea Captains. Sea Captains new this season to the NA3HL, and they've already struck a couple deals with Joshua Worldwide Limousine Services. Joshua handles all of the travel for a road game, and, well, especially with the weather turning into winter, snowy roads, icy roads out there, it's nice to have a professional driver able to shepherd your team to and from the arenas. Another sponsor of the Norwich Sea Captains is Renegade Gym. I know the players spend plenty of time over at Renegade. Nice setup that they have over there. A pretty large facility, lots of machines, lots of free weights as well, and classes offered. That's right down the road here in Norwich. So the officials have finished discussing things with the coaching staffs. Now, of course, they go back to the scorers table. Linesmen today are Mike DePerio and Chris Barron. Shane Canali, the referee. It looks like we're about to get back underway. Shane Canali still at the scorers table. And we'll see if there are any penalties that actually go up on the board. We're playing 5-on-5, and we're back underway, so we'll, again, try to get those penalties for you as soon as we can. Meanwhile, right off the draw, it ends up in on Pellerito, and now a little more pushing and shoving. As this game already 5-0, and teetering on the brink, it seems. Peyton Felix on the draw against Tegan Byer. Byer managed to win it towards the slot. Smith is able to clear. Now here comes Kinahan racing up ahead. He tries to beat Gorman to the puck. Gorman got there first. Kinahan able to knock it off of Gorman's stick. Puck loose behind the net. Then Kinahan knocked down from behind by Savoy. Here's Smith at the point. He'll throw one that bounces towards goal, but wide. Felix and Kinahan come together. Hayden in the neutral zone along for Smith, and Smith will send one in on goal that Mason Joseph eventually finds underneath him. He'll hold on. We saw Joseph in the second period playing the puck plenty often. but he'll hold on for the whistle. And the face-off to his right with 12:05 to go in the third period. Still waiting to find out what the penalties are. As we mentioned, Moran was sent to the locker room. Braden Kennedy was sent away. Nolan Murphy for the Generals. And we saw Drew Schemmel take a walk down the hallway as well, as it is a sparse bench for the Sea Captains. Only 8 skaters remain between injury and what we're presuming are a couple ejections. Hayden up for Holton, and Holton will flip it back on down. Joseph leaves it aside for McNamee, who goes hard around the boards. Troy Harwell out there as a defenseman now. Bouncing puck. Holton manages to spin it, and will that be called as a penalty? I hope not. Looks like Holton will escape one, as he never actually closed his glove around the puck, but he still managed to essentially do a basketball move, moving the puck behind his back. Faceoff will come out of the zone on what presumably will be called a hand pass. Faceoff won back by Ram. Here's Caden Hess. Austin Crisp all the way down the ice on goal, so Pellerito will have to hold on. And the faceoff will be in the Norwich zone with 11:10 to go in the period. Ram up front. In the slot, Racker along with Hess. It's Racker with the puck in the corner. Down low for Ram. Ram has that knocked off his stick. McNamee from the point. Deflected on goal and just over the top of the cage. It's not exactly how Tyler Ram drew it up, but still a dangerous opportunity. Now Hess with a shot, easily handled by Pellerito. Loose puck picked up by Byer, and he gives along for Aiden Bain. Bain caught from behind. Byer from the neutral zone will send it on in. Delayed offsides against the Sea Captains, and so the Generals and Caden Hess get it into the Norwich zone. Evan Tower, the first one there. He sends around far side for Manahan. Manahan has it knocked off his stick. A bouncing puck just trickles over the blue line. Evan Tower is there. Tower will get it down. First one there for the Generals is McNamee. Stolen away by Manahan. Manahan takes a couple cross checks from McNamee in the corner. McNamee ends up coming up with the puck. And now 3-on-3, they'll break out of the zone. Behind the play, Manahan and Caden Hess shoving at each other. You don't see this out of Josh Manahan too often, although certainly the frustration building for the Norwich Sea Captains as they look for their first victory since October 2nd against the Bay State Bobcats. And this may result in another ejection as Josh Manahan has been shown the door. And Generals player Caden Hess tossed as well. And it seems as though that's the way the officials are going to go through this third period. They've seen enough, so anything after the whistle seems to result in misconducts. So 10-11 to go. No penalty time has gone up on the board. I imagine that the call will simply be 2 minutes, or rather 2 and 10 each, 2 for roughing and then the 10-minute misconduct. Official talking things over with Nick Racker, captain of the Northeast Generals. Norwich Sea Captains have not named a captain yet this season. A new team, everybody still gelling in the locker room. And head coach Kevin Cunningham, assistant coach Nick DiNicola, both taking the approach of the leaders will naturally percolate up to the top. And as someone who has played plenty of hockey myself, the leaders in the locker room do become apparent as everybody gets used to each other. 2 minutes will go up on the board on both sides. Not sure who is serving the penalty for the Generals. It may be Tommy Lubin. Odd to have a defenseman serve a penalty like that, though we don't have the best of angles from our little perch here. Going to the box now for the Sea Captains is Jamison Bain. And so we'll skate 4 aside for the next 2 minutes. Here's Troy Harwell. Back on the blue line out of necessity. His pass goes over the stick of Byer. Icing is called, and the faceoff will come back down into the zone belonging to Brendan Pellerito. Well, taking a look over to, or rather off to the side of the Norwich bench, you can see Sean Loftus. He is in street clothes. He will not return to this game. Tony Moran, who was hit from behind viciously in the first period, tried gutting one out, but it appears as though his day is over. And Drew Schemmel has not returned, as looks as though he was also ejected in that initial fracas to the side of Pellerito. Either way, 9:43 to go in the third, and 1:33 to go in 4-on-4 action. Off the draw, it's Daryl Smith. He's able to poke it out towards the red line. Nuzzolillo from the neutral zone will send it on in, and Pellerito leaves it aside for Harwell. Troy Harwell has to deal with the insistent pressure of Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo forces a turnover, goes back up to the point. McCready walking on in, has it knocked off of his stick. Kinahan touches one along, and now it's Harrison Ranger back for Kinahan. From the blue line, he launches one wide. Nuzzolillo gives along the near side wall for Lambert. McCready and Lambert again. Harrison Ranger on the forecheck. 53 seconds to go in 4-on-4 action. Now Eddie Mulligan, smoked out by Kinahan. Mulligan gets around Harrison Ranger as well. Now Mulligan in the corner. Shoved away by Hayden. Eventually gets sent back behind the net. Daryl Smith tries going up the wall. Knocked down by Lampert. Harrison Ranger on his knees trying to clear. Nuzzolillo poking at it as well. Puck pinned up against the boards by Hayden. Another scrum. Coming up with it is Mulligan. He gives it across, and shooting one on goal was Cedric Savoy. Brendan Pellerito tracks it all the way into his glove. Faceoff will be to his left with 8:20 to go in the second period and 10 seconds to go in 4-on-4 action. Evan Tower on the draw against Nick Racker. Tower with the faceoff win. Now Harwell chips one off the glass. Outside the reach of Aiden Bain. Bain will still chase after it. First one there is Savoy. Savoy maintains possession of the puck, and now it's a 4-on-2 for the Generals through the neutral zone. Broken up by Sachs. Nice job getting in the way of Savoy. Penalty has expired, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here's Sachs. Playing one off the glass. This puck bounces down into the Generals' end. It will not have enough for icing, as catching up to it is Savoy. He goes behind the net, past the stick of Tapia, all the way back down into the Sea Captain's end. Smith turned over, shot on by Racker, saved by Pellerito, and he holds on. Well, Nick Racker, one of the veterans of this Northeast Generals team, coming into this game, only 8 points on the season in 14 games. Racker was not available for a good chunk of last season's attempt at a Frazier Cup. And here's Harrison Ranger back the other way. Sent in front, and Byer couldn't pull the trigger. But Racker missed a good portion of last year for the Generals. Came back in time for the Frazier Cup. As the Generals would certainly like to get a little revenge for last year's trip out to St. Louis. The Generals 15-0 this season and on their way to win number 16. Harrison Ranger unable to clear. Puck rolls off the stick of Lamphere. Sent back down into the Generals' end. This should be icing and there's the whistle. So 6:45 to go. The officials will have to figure out which Sea Captains will be on the ice for this next face-off. Face-off will be to the right of Pellerito. Still waiting to get the official penalties out of everything. Wouldn't be surprised if perhaps that was entered in after the game. Meanwhile, at the point, it's Gorman fanning on a shot. Byer looking to clear. Puck just rolls over the line. And then McCready sends that out of play. So face off in front of the Norwich bench. 6:31 to go. Evan Tower, who's looked good in this game, on the draw. Tower managed to win it. Tapia couldn't control, and then the puck once again ends up in the Sea Captain's bench. As we mentioned, lots of extra room on the Sea Captain's bench right now. As just taking a look at the bench, now there's only 7 skaters remaining, so perhaps somebody else shaken up. Meanwhile, with 6:13 to go, in their own end, Generals look to break out. Here's Joey McCready. Sent over far side. Puck flutters through the air. Eventually, Darryl Smith sees it land in front of him. Gave up ahead for Kinahan. Kinahan knocked off his stick by Mulligan. Now Gorman. Lampert delayed offside. Sea Captain's clear of his zone. Back the other way, it's Mulligan. Mulligan, nice little move in front, sent it wide. Eddie Mulligan, the defenseman, showing off some hands. Troy Harwell. He's got some silky smooth mitts himself. Sends a pass around the boards outside the reach of Tower. Shot from the point got blocked by a teammate. And now here's Evan Tower to the outside. Tower gaining speed. He'll throw it towards goal. Joseph sends it into the corner. Tapia can't come up with the rebound. Racker now through center ice. Hits Nuzalillo. Knocked down by Harrison Ranger. And behind the play, we have a fight as Tapia is getting tied up with Eddie Mulligan. Mulligan simply feeding some rights to Tapia. So I'm not sure where that came from, but with 5:19 to go, and Tapia is not happy about it. This game reaching a boiling point. So that'll do it for Mulligan. That'll do it for Tapia as well. It's the first fight at the junior level for Max Tapia. And with 5:19 to go in the third period, we'll have another trip over to the scorer's table. Tegan Byer having a couple words with the official as Mulligan kept throwing rights after both players had already gone down to the ice. I mean, certainly at the junior level here at the NA3, you don't see too many fights, but there is still an unspoken code that goes about with that. Either way, play back underway with 5:15 to go. Hayden in the neutral zone. Knocked ahead by Byer. Stolen away by Ram. At center ice. Nuzalillo up ahead. Glove down by Racker. Offsides against the Generals. And the faceoff will come back out into the neutral zone. Well, you can see the Norwich Sea Captains bench on your screens at home. You see how empty it is over there. Only 6 skaters now remain on the bench for the Sea Captains. Started the game with a full bench. Now more pushing and shoving in front of the bench of the Sea Captains. Harrison Ranger gets hit up head in the head. That was Tommy Lubin who came up. Interference will be the call. And with 4:43 to go in regulation time, the Norwich Sea Captains will go back onto the power play. They are 0 for 4 so far. It'd be nice for the Sea Captains to get a goal here, at least something to hang their hat on for going into this little Thanksgiving break. Tegan Byer on the offensive zone faceoff. It's one back by Lamphere, sent all the way down the boards and out of the zone. First one to it is Harwell. Harwell has to deal with the immediate forecheck of Lamphere. Lamphere sends it back out towards center ice. And the Generals will be happy to kill as much time as possible. McNamee from center ice sends it back down. Pellerito will leave it aside for Harwell. Harwell tries playing it off the back of the net. Also getting involved is Tower. It's a delayed call coming up against the Sea Captain, so Pellerito will go to the bench. And Tegan Beyer at the blue line. Lost possession of the puck. You would expect the Sea Captains to simply give up possession here, but now with the extra attacker on, they might as well hold on to it. Eventually, it's Sinopel who gets a stick on it. Another interference call coming up against the Gens. Heading to the box is Zach Sinopel. And so with 3:58 to go in regulation time, the Norwich Sea Captains will go on to a 5-on-3 power play for 1 minute and 15 seconds. Let's see what they can do with the extra space on the ice. It will be Beyer, Kinahan, and Tower up front. Hayden and Harwell on the point. Beyer won the puck to the wall. Kinahan trying to come up with possession. Poking at it for the Generals is Peyton Felix, who has 2 shorties on the day. Puck still in the pile up. Eventually it's Beyer who getting stripped of the puck by Peyton Felix. And Felix now gaining speed through the neutral zone. Over center red and into the Sea Captain's end. Felix knocked it off his stick. And so it'll be Harwell with 48 to go on the 5-on-3. Troy Harwell, lots of space. Harwell hits the blue line. Now draws some defensive attention from Owen McNamee. Given him long for Beyer. Beyer a sharp angle attempt saved by Joseph. And he holds on. Face off to the right of Mason Joseph. Coming into this game, Joseph already with 2 shutouts on the season. A perfect 8-0 record. It'll be Nick Sachs on the draw with Harrison Ranger and Daryl Smith up front. Troy Harwell and Tim Hayden on the point. That's 4 defensemen on the power play, but that is what the Sea Captains have left. It's Gorman in his own end, throwing it all the way down the ice. Pellerito leaves it behind for Troy Harwell. Harwell forced to the outside, into the zone, avoids the hip check from Austin Chris. Harwell sends one in front, intended for Ranger. Chris fell down on the play. Smith unable to hold the line. And back to retrieve is Harrison Ranger. 2 seconds and 1. The first penalty has expired. 2:40 to go in regulation time. It's Harwell. Back up for Ranger. Ranger with no help around him. Lost possession of the puck. Nuzzolillo will send it on down. Pellerito sticks it into the corner. And Hayden throws it back behind the cage for Beyer. Now Harwell with 25 to go. Harwell got it as far as the blue line. Owen McNamee will collect. And McNamee sends it back out towards center ice. Overskating the puck was Nuzzolillo. Last man back, Hayden, gives along for Kinahan. Kinahan with Racker behind him, circling in the neutral zone. Eventually got it over the blue line. Now here's Hayden, 2 seconds and 1. And the Northeast Generals have killed off a 5-on-3 power play. Tegan Beyer with the puck in his skates. Racker unable to clear. Kinahan gives down low for Harwell. Now Kinahan at the blue line. D-to-D across for Holton. Holton, his shot bounces off the back of the net. Loose puck picked up by Ram. Ram up ahead for Nuzzolillo. Nuzzolillo just enough to get it out of the zone. Aiden Bain will touch it back for Kinahan with 90 seconds to go. Jack Kinahan throws one off the board, Sonobe in particular. Sent back down the ice by Savoy. Harwell behind his own net. Sends one around the boards for Holton. Holton with 3 Generals poking at his skates. Trying to force the scrum up the wall. He does. Out of the zone, and now it's Evan Tower. Tower knocked off of his stick by Savoy. Loose puck turned over. Here's Ram. Dishing one into the slot. A shot saved by Pellerito. Tower there to pick up the trash. Tower gives along for Aiden Bain with under a minute to play in the period. Aiden Bain can't get around the defense of McCready. Wrapped around the boards. Daryl Smith at the blue line. His shot gets blocked. Now Aiden Bain again on the half wall. Crunched by a couple Generals. Harrison Ranger rolls off his stick. Tower from the blue line. That shot gets blocked by McCready. Thrown up, but not out of the zone. Nice shot by Tower to hold the blue line. Eventually, it trickles out into the neutral zone. 28 seconds to go as Holton sends it on down deep. Mason Joseph leaves it off to the side. Now McCready. Ranger breaks things up. Harrison Ranger knocked off his stick by Felix. Felix clears it out of the zone. 12 seconds to go. Darrell Smith sends one off the glass. A bouncing puck goes past McCready. Eventually, it's picked up, sent D to D. And Gorman will hold on to it as the Northeast Generals head south to the Rose of New England, and they shut out the Norwich Sea Captains by a score of 5-0. 4 goals in the second period proved to be the difference, including 3 shorthanded. Peyton Felix with a pair of them.